Have you ever noticed how someone who isn't the smartest person in the room can somehow effortlessly command everyone's respect, while brilliant people with amazing ideas get completely ignored? Most people believe that communication is all about the words you say, but the brutal truth is that your words represent less than 10% of your actual influence. The other 90% is purely psychology, strategy, and a deep understanding of how the human brain processes information. Powerful communication is not a genetic gift or a talent you were simply born with. It is a systematic skill you can learn and master to effortlessly influence others, close impossible deals, and build magnetic presence. Welcome to the psychology of powerful communication, where we are going to break down the invisible forces that determine whether you are taken seriously or completely overlooked. Before you even open your mouth, you might be making fatal mistakes that signal weakness and low status, destroying your influence before the conversation even begins. The first massive mistake is reactive communication, where you wait for others to lead, constantly ask permission to speak, and apologize for having opinions, which trains others to see you as a follower. Another huge trap is information dumping. Many people think that overwhelming someone with facts and statistics will naturally persuade them, but the human brain actually processes information emotionally first, and overloading it just creates mental resistance and exhaustion. You also have to watch out for emotional leakage, where internal anxiety, insecurity, or desperation leaks out through a slightly higher voice, rushed speech, or nervous body language. When you add in the trap of approval-seeking communication, prioritizing harmony and being liked over honesty, you end up looking manipulative, weak, and irrelevant in important decisions. To fix this, you must understand the neuroscience of first impressions, because the human brain makes near-permanent snap judgments about you in less than 3 seconds. This is a survival mechanism called thin slice judgments, where the brain uses tiny pieces of information like your posture, facial expressions, and vocal tone to predict your character and competence. Confident people take up appropriate space, maintain a straight spine, and move deliberately without fidgeting, which unconsciously signals leadership and emotional control. Your eye contact is also a major psychological trigger. Maintaining eye contact for 3 to 5 seconds while speaking establishes authority, while matching it with a rich, breath-supported vocal tone signals profound competence. If you open a conversation with excessive pleasantries, uncertain phrases, or apologies, you instantly devalue your own time and train others to do the exact same thing. Once you have established a strong first impression, you need to understand the fundamental difference between true authority and aggression. Real authority is calm, controlled, and magnetic, drawing people in and creating genuine trust, whereas aggression relies on emotional reactivity, force, and intimidation, which only signals deep weakness. Authoritative people process their emotions internally before responding, meaning they never get defensive, angry, or flustered when challenged under pressure. They practice purposeful communication by only speaking when they have genuine value to add, and they use strategic vulnerability to honestly acknowledge mistakes, which ironically skyrockets their respect and trust. This emotional stability allows them to naturally persuade people without ever resorting to manipulation. Speaking of persuasion, the ultimate secret to changing minds is realizing that people make decisions emotionally and then use logic to justify those choices to themselves and others. Ethical persuasion involves discovering what truly motivates the other person, whether it is security, recognition, or autonomy, and establishing genuine rapport by focusing on what you can give rather than what you can get. Instead of dry facts, you must use strategic storytelling to create vivid mental pictures that allow the listener to actually feel the benefits of your proposal. You proactively address their resistance by acknowledging their legitimate concerns before they even bring them up, and you remove all barriers to make saying yes the easiest and lowest risk option available. One of the most powerful and underutilized tools in this persuasion operating system is strategic silence, because most people are absolutely terrified of conversational pauses. Filling every pause with nervous chatter destroys your authority, while mastering silence conveys immense confidence and thoughtfulness. You can use a confidence pause before you speak to show intentionality, or an emphasis pause right after a major point to let the information truly sink into the listener's brain. There's also the invitation silence, a deliberate pause that encourages the other person to fill the gap and reveal deeper thoughts or motivations they otherwise would have kept hidden. By staying calm and centered during tension pauses, you force others to sit with uncomfortable emotions and take responsibility, making you stand out as a rare, highly compelling communicator. Of course, none of this matters if you cannot read the room, which is a skill known as social calibration. The most sophisticated communicators assess the unwritten rules, power dynamics, and emotional climate of any environment and flexibly adapt their style without losing their core identity. They know that engineers might need logical structure, while marketing teams respond to emotional storytelling. They observe micro-feedback signals in real time, like whether people are leaning in or looking away, and they pivot immediately. This calibration feeds directly into their unshakable process-based confidence, which relies on genuine preparation, competence building, and optimized self-talk rather than fragile outcome-based validation. When crisis strikes, this prepared mindset allows them to regulate their emotions, manage transparent information, and swiftly redirect everyone's panic towards solution-focused action. To elevate your influence to the absolute highest level, you have to manufacture magnetic presence on command using the charisma formula. Real charisma is not about being the loudest person, it's about presence intensity, which means giving someone your undivided, distraction-free attention so they feel like the most important person in the world. You match this with emotional attunement, genuinely reading their subtle cues and using curiosity amplification to ask deep follow-up questions that prove you are authentically fascinated by their perspective. Even in the digital world, where you lose physical cues, you can apply these same principles by optimizing your platforms, writing compelling hooks to capture attention, and using personal storytelling to forge an emotional connection through the screen. Ultimately, reading about these psychology hacks won't change your life unless you adopt a mastery mindset and systematically implement them into your daily habits. Communication mastery is a lifelong journey of running experiments, seeking brutal feedback, and deliberately practicing progressive challenges. Start small by filming yourself, role-playing difficult conversations, and focusing on one habit at a time, like maintaining eye contact, until it becomes completely automatic. The choice is yours. You can settle for being overlooked, or you can commit to this process and become the most magnetic, influential person in any room. If you found this breakdown of human psychology valuable, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into the human mind, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. I'll see you in the next one.